of the characteristics of modern design is the generous use of glass, favored by many architects for its lightness, durability, and cutting-edge look. In sunny climates, these large glazed openings afford a warm, naturally lit environment with reduced heat and electric bills. But life in such sunny quarters also has its downsides, especially in summer. Faded furniture and curtains, harmful glare, overheating, strained eyes, headaches, and perspiration. Most of us end up closing the shutters, thereby counteracting the advantages of glass and the reason it was put there in the first place. This problem troubled architects Dr. Yair Etzion and Eviatar Erel of the Jacob Blaustein Institute for Desert Research. Here at the Desert Architecture and Urban Planning Unit of the Department of Man in the Desert, they have developed a new glazing system which improves visual and thermal comfort all year round. The unique system includes this ventilated reversible frame comprised of two glazing assemblies: a clear glazing, which provides a weatherproof seal against rain, wind, or cold, and a tinted glazing to protect against glare and radiation. The two panes revolve together and their direction can be fixed according to season. In winter, the tinted glass is turned inward, allowing the sun to heat the interior space while reducing glare. In summer, the tinted glass faces outward, reducing solar penetration and maintaining cool temperatures inside the room.
Glass, like other materials, behaves differently when exposed to light of different wavelengths. So it transmits solar energy, that is short wavelength, and is opaque to radiation at longer wavelengths, otherwise known as heat.
The sun radiates energy at very short wavelengths, whereas furniture and walls inside a room give off long-wave radiation. The molecular structure of glass in a window allows the sun's short-wave radiation into the room while blocking the furniture's long-wave radiation from leaving it. Thus, heat is trapped inside, a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. What Etzion and Erel's system does is convert shortwave solar energy into long-wave energy. It allows the sun to penetrate the clear glass and heat the dark glass, which in turn emits long-wave radiation. In summer, this heat is emitted outside, while in winter, it remains inside the room. The project was funded by the European Union, and a window factory in Israel now awaits to begin commercial production. Once this happens, those of us living in sunny climates could finally enjoy pleasant, glare-free sunlight in our homes and offices. For most people, surgery usually means an invasive procedure involving possible complications, scarring, and a long hospital stay. Yet for patients with certain tumors, there is an alternative: laser surgery. The laser beam's concentrated light irradiates the tumor by directing an optical fiber into or above the infected organ. Healing is relatively quick, often without hospitalization. But most hospitals still continue to put patients under the knife. This is because laser surgery machines are very expensive to buy, up to $120,000 apiece. Here at the Jacob Blaustein Institute for Desert Research, scientists at the Solar Energy and Environmental Physics Department have found a way to reduce the cost of laser surgery instruments to as little as $1,000 each. physics professor Jeff Gordon turned to a natural resource that is abundant in the desert around him, the sun.
Let's concentrate sunlight back to the level it possesses near the surface of the sun, couple it into an optical fiber, deliver it into the operating theater, and we have the same results as with laser surgery.
He and his colleagues, Dr. Daniel Feuerman and Dr. Mahmoud Khalikhal, constructed a curved dish that focuses sunlight to almost 15,000 times its ambient level, close to the level it has near the sun itself. A small mirror placed at the focal point of the dish bounces the light into a fiber optic cable which runs into the laboratory. Power intensity is controlled by a special iris which opens and closes at the flick of a button. The group now uses this prototype to carry out surgical experiments on fresh chicken liver. Upon operation, the solar beam penetrates and smolders the tissue. When the chicken liver is examined after the surgical trial, the team finds a symmetrical lesion, seen here in white. The liver is then analyzed by pathologist Dr. Ruthie Shackle-Levy.
We see that the border between the viable and non-viable tissue is very sharp, so just from looking at the slide, you cannot distinguish and tell if it's by solar surgery or by laser surgery.
Chief of Surgery Professor Sali Mizrahi of Soroka Hospital in Beersheba took part in the experiments.
We've seen the results, and it is completely compatible with the same results that the literature show us about using laser treatment at the same tissue.
The solar unit can only be used on clear, sunny days. Emergency treatments are out, since even a drifting cloud could shroud the sun and shut down the operating room. The program has received international attention, as well as the generous support of the Rita Altura Foundation. Now, scientists and surgeons in sunny climates around the world await further developments of this novel use for solar power.
It will save no significant energy, it will save no significant power, but it may save lives. And to me, this is what makes it worthwhile.
If you happen to be driving through Israel's Negev desert, you may come across a spectacular sight. A carpet of bright red glass panels glistening in the sun against a backdrop of pink sandy hills. Driving up close to this mysterious vision, you will find yourself inside a state-of-the-art plant. Its purpose, to grow this algae, called Hematococcus pluvialis, in order to add it as food colorant to salmon fish. Nowadays, most salmon are grown artificially in freshwater pools in similar conditions to those seen here. These farm salmon are given only synthetic animal feed which doesn't contain astaxanthin, the red pigment present in the food they naturally find in the sea. Without it, the fish's flesh is almost white. And so, growers add artificially produced astaxanthin to the fish's food. Almost all types of farm salmon grown today are tinted with this chemically produced pigment. Professor Sami Boussiba of the Jacob Blaustein Institute for Desert Research has now found a source of astaxanthin that is healthy, safe, and all-natural: the Hematococcus pluvialis algae. During 10 years of research, Busiba and his team took advantage of a basic desert condition, high radiance coming from the sun all year long. First, the algae are placed in shakers, which accelerate their growth process. Soon it is time to move them into roomier quarters, where temperatures are cool and food is plentiful. Within days, the algae have become a thick, dense culture. They are then moved outside, where they quickly turn brown under the scorching desert sun. This is because they are denied nourishment and exposed to extreme heat, with the glass panels acting as a hothouse. After a few days, the brown algae turn a dazzling red, indicating the natural astaxanthin inside them emerged. It is time to harvest and dry the red algae. As the machine drains out the water, all that are left are red flakes of natural astaxanthin. Professor Busiba's patent method was the basis for this impressive new plant located in Kibbutz Torah.
For a scientist dreaming in the lab, playing with few tubes, to come and to see something big like that is really a dream come true.
Built at a cost of several $1 million by Algae, a biotechnology company, the plant produces 20 tons of microalgae a year, yielding 500 kilos of pure pigment. Orders are already in place from fish growers in the U.S., Japan, Sweden, and more. And so the Hematococcus pluvialis algae begins its journey from Israel overseas, perhaps to a supermarket near you. Israel's Negev desert. Life here is a struggle with perpetual heat, bright sunlight, and lack of fresh water. At Ben-Gurion University in Sde Boker, scientists at the Jacob Blaustein Institute for Desert Research are working to transform the curses of the desert into blessings. Alongside intensive scientific research, the Institute provides consultation and knowledge to area farmers who make effective use of desert resources. One of the projects it supports is the Colors Farm in Moshav Chatzeva. Fresh water is scarce in the desert, so farmer Ran Epstein decided to only raise crops which can sustain themselves on undrinkable water which is pumped out of the warm saline lakes beneath the desert surface. The result is a small oasis, a dazzling array of tropical fish, water lilies, and dates. The farm operates in a unique method called the integrated system. The warm saline water, which tropical fish love, is cleaned naturally from the ammonia they discharge when they eat. Since ammonia is also a source of nitrogen needed by plants, including algae, in order to grow, this very same water is carried from the fish tanks to open-air ponds, where it is greatly enjoyed by the water lilies. From here, the water continues to a palm orchard, which grows dates. Color's environmentally friendly method of agriculture caught the attention of Professor Sami Busiba, head of the microalgal laboratory at the Blaustein Institute. In order to combat disease outbreaks in these densely populated fish tanks, Busiba and his colleagues suggested feeding the tropical fish with algae such as spirulina. A special reactor was then built in which to grow the spirulina and then added to the brackish water as part of the fish's diet. The spirulina not only helps purify the water, but also renders the fish healthier and more vibrant in color. This is an important marketing factor since tropical fish are marketed by color intensity rather than size. Thus, the joint venture between the Institute and the farmer bears a bright future for desert industry.
This is the whole essence of our institute, to try to see how we can develop this side of the area. And if you come to this kind of a place, which you see tropical fish and nice lilies, it's like visiting a paradise.